Triumph of the will, the fall of the Soviet Union, the Eastern Front, a frozen wasteland. It was here that history took a sharp turn. Operation Barbarossa, once thought a gamble, succeeded beyond Hitler's wildest dreams. The Wehrmacht, aided by a brutal winter, crushed the Soviet defenses. Moscow fell. Stalin, the once invincible tyrant, disappeared into the chaos. The vast resources of the Soviet Union, its oil, its minerals, its people, all fell into the hands of the Nazis. This victory fueled their insatiable hunger. It emboldened them, convinced them of their own invincibility. The world watched, aghast, as the Nazi behemoth grew stronger, fueled by conquest and plunder. With the Soviets vanquished, the Nazis turned their full attention westward. Britain, already battered by the Blitz, stood alone. The fate of the free world hung precariously in the balance. A world clad in shadow, the new order descends. The English Channel, once a formidable barrier, proved no match for the might of the Luftwaffe and the Kriegsmarine. Operation Sea Lion, the daring invasion of Britain, commenced. Resistance was fierce but ultimately futile. London, subjected to relentless bombing, fell. Churchill, defiant to the end, was captured and executed. With Britain subdued, the Nazis moved swiftly to consolidate their control over Europe. The puppet regimes of Vichy France and other conquered nations became provinces of the Reich. The Nazi ideology, a toxic blend of racial hatred and totalitarian control, seeped into every corner of European life. The dream of a united Europe, twisted into a nightmare of oppression and fear, had become a reality. The Nazis, drunk on power and fueled by their twisted ideology, set their sights on world domination. Across the Atlantic and the Pacific, a global Reich. With Europe firmly under their control, the Nazis turned their attention to the wider world. The United States, weakened by years of appeasement and isolationism, found itself facing a resurgent and technologically advanced Nazi Germany. The vast resources of the conquered territories, coupled with the forced labor of millions, fueled the Nazi war machine. Across the Pacific, an uneasy alliance formed between Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan. Driven by their own expansionist ambitions, the Japanese saw an opportunity in the chaos. They launched a series of devastating attacks, crippling the American Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor and seizing control of vast swaths of Asia. The world watched in horror as the Nazi menace spread, casting its long shadow across the globe. The hope for freedom seemed to dim with each passing day. Section 4, the Iron Fist Life Under the Nazi Banner. Life under the Nazi regime was a bleak and terrifying experience for millions. The jackbooted heel of the Gestapo crushed any dissent. Concentration camps, once used to imprison political opponents, became factories of death, consuming Jews, Roma, homosexuals, and anyone deemed unfit for the New World Order. The Nazis implemented their twisted ideology with ruthless efficiency. Children were indoctrinated from a young age, taught to worship Hitler and embrace the tenets of Aryan supremacy. The arts and media were corrupted, transformed into tools of propaganda. The world envisioned by the Nazis was one of conformity and obedience, where individual thought was crushed beneath the weight of totalitarian control. Section 5, Twisted Steel and Broken Dreams, Technology and Culture in the Reich. The Nazis, obsessed with power and domination, poured vast resources into scientific and technological development. They achieved breakthroughs in rocketry, jet propulsion, and nuclear research, driven by a relentless desire for military superiority. These advancements, however, came at a terrible cost. Culture, once vibrant and diverse, withered under the oppressive hand of the Nazi regime. Books were burned, music banned, and art deemed degenerate was destroyed. The Nazis sought to reshape the cultural landscape in their own image, promoting a sanitized and idealized vision of Aryan supremacy. Section 6. A Flicker in the Darkness, Seeds of Resistance. Despite the pervasive atmosphere of fear and oppression, resistance to the Nazi regime flickered. In the shadows, ordinary people whispered of freedom and plotted against their oppressors. Underground newspapers spread messages of hope and defiance. Acts of sabotage, small and desperate, served as reminders that the human spirit could not be entirely extinguished. In the occupied territories, resistance movements fought back against the Nazi occupiers. These brave men and women, fueled by a burning desire for freedom, risked their lives to disrupt the Nazi war machine and provide hope to those living under the yoke of oppression. Their struggle, though fraught with danger and sacrifice, served as a testament to the enduring human spirit and the refusal to surrender to tyranny.